to Journey to Ragnarok. We are on session 38. Last we left off, the party traversed into the realm of the dwarves and the kingdom of the dwarves, where they were met at spear point by, well, quite a lot of dwarves. Ezekiel tried his best to talk with them and make friend. And after a very spooky natural one that was re-rolled thanks to some luck points, I also rolled for the dwarves to see how they would respond. I believe you were basically asking, like, let us through and see the king, more or less?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
Which their response is... So, keep in mind, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, eight dwarves, all with, like, swords and spears. And they all, you know, they're all pointed at your group. And, you know, from maybe, we'll say this one right here. The one in the front there. He basically tells you that they'll take you to the king, all right. But first, they're going to take your weapons and any valuables you hold on you.
Oh, hold on now. Hold on now. I understand your need for safety. I understand your need to ensure that we are disarmed for the sake of the king, but you ain't getting all our valuables. We need that stuff.
You'll need that stuff if the king deems you need that stuff. And he looks at some of the other guards and says, move in. They start...
Hold on now. Hold on. All right.
And they begin walking up to you. If any of you want to try and hide items, you can certainly do so with a sleight of hand, but they, like, mob you to begin, like, removing items.
Oh yeah, I'm hiding my book for sure as my casting focus. I feel like that is priority number one.
Right. I'm not sure there's a good chance that I hide any of my stuff. I guess aside from my armor, if they decide to just leave me with armor.
Well, if there's anything you'd like to hide, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay. I see the leader there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we think it's a good idea for me to try something, or do we want to, like, see where this goes?
Well, you got a moment's notice, as they are currently frisking Tobias and Gwyn.
I would give you the chance to do something, I think.
Okay. To the leader.
I think I'll give you guidance. I'll say,
okay.
If Odin thinks that we're supposed to be here, there must be a reason.
So guidance is verbal.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So they hear me, like, giving him guidance. I feel like as a cantrip, they probably know what guidance is.
That is true, but you're also casting a spell in front of them while they're frisking you. And I now decide if they're going to let you go through with it.
Okay.
So that's your one free. If you still want to cast guidance, you can go for it, but they're going to react.
This isn't... I will say, this isn't really a guidance thing. It's more
okay.
Yeah, so... I'm gonna go ahead and it looks at the leader like, my friend, please. I suggest that you allow us to get to your king and speak to him post haste. And that you can surround us and guard us, but I suggest this urgency, and I wish you to help me with this. And I'm gonna cast suggestion on him.
Okay, you suggest a course of activity. Physically influence a creature. Worded action must be in a manner that course sound of action. Alright, so it's V, S, and M. Are you going to try and hide that you're casting this?
I'm gesturing very much with my hands, like I have been this entire time. So I'm gonna try and subtly cast it as I'm gesturing my hands, essentially, holding what looks to be a pipe in my hand, as if I'm about to hand it to him, using that as my material.
Okay, so this is the first for me. I usually never factor in actual, spell components, but this I'm starting to. You can roll me a sleight of hand with advantage because of how you described it. Now you're going to be rolling against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 others. So, but you can still roll.
Let's see. Do I have any more? Okay, I do not. All right.
Nat
So
20.
this is just going to be my normal ability. Is I do not have proficiency in this, unfortunately, and I cannot give myself proficiency. Oh yeah, baby! Oh yeah, baby!
So I'm going to roll the saving throw first, and then I'm going to roll to see if they notice. So here's the soldier. The save is a what? Wisdom?
16. Let me see. It should be listed in there.
Yeah, target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Alright, so here's his wisdom saving throw. 1, 2,
I tried.
Now, I'm gonna roll to see if they all noticed. The perception.
Natural 20.
Perception's wisdom, right?
Yeah, it was a natural 20 though.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll individually for the 3 soldiers. Which are, the big beefier guys, and then I'll roll once as a group for the smaller guys. So individually for the 3 soldiers. 1, 2, 3. And then once for the group of regs. Oh, that's dangerously close. So they don't notice you casting the spell. They don't notice you using suggestion. Or trying to suggest something. However, your suggestion also doesn't seem to take effect.
Well, I tried.
And the soldier responds with,
1 second.
no, I think we'll be taking your stuff. And the dark dwarves begin moving in on all of you now to grab your weapons, and any openly visible, if you have coin pouches, they're ripped from your jackets. If you have axes and swords out, they grab them from you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning up against the group and kind of holding my shield in front of them to kind of keep them away and give me a second. So I'm gonna face the group. Do we want to hide the thing?
So just to add a bit more to this, you're saying, I know the way I have that, but they're all on top of you while you're saying this. They're grabbing stuff from the others. So you turn to the group and you turn to.
Okay, wait. There's lava right next to us, right?
Yes, there
okay.
is. The bridge is guardrailed.
Right. Who has the thing?
Yeah, I do.
There's lava right next to us. We can parlay.
And I'll say in Celestial.
Right.
I
can
doubt
understand
you guys
that.
speak Celestial, yeah.
I mean, we can parlay. There's lava right there.
Okay, well, so what would that entail? Because they're
What would that
already
entail?
touching my
Hold
shield.
it over the lava and tell him to
What
stop.
that entail is
Got it.
you either give a sleight of hand right now, or it's taken from you.
Okay, well.
Oh, hold it
I'll-
over the
I'll make
lava.
Okay.
Hold
I'll-
it over the lava.
I'll hold it
Make
over the
him work
lava.
for it. I'm just a suggestion. It's up to you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna respect Pai's call here and say I gotta make the sleight of hand check now, right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
22. So, just with that They don't find it on you.
Okay.
That was what I was asking for previously. If you wanted to hide items, assuming you want to hide it.
Okay. And then I'm taking it that that's my like one thing because the weapons aren't hideable. I'm guessing
That is your one thing. So if
Okay.
you guys have gold on you, your gold is taken. If you have weapons on you, your weapons are taken. When
All right.
your book is taken.
Fuck.
Basically, everyone's everything that might be. If you have something that is shiny on you, it is taken. They don't strip you of your armor. But they do take your weaponry, they take your gold. If you have jewels, they take your jewels. They take anything that might be deemed a weapon or might be deemed valuable. Like, they see you, Gwyn, trying to desperately hide your book, and they're like, oh, what is that there? You tried to hide something from us? It's ours now. We can't even read this, but it's ours. So they fully strip you of your gear. And then they start... You know the thing in movies when you become a prisoner and they start, like, butting you with the back of the spears? Like, they do that and, like, tell you to begin walking, essentially.
All right. Well, here we go. This is our lot in life now.
Gwen's eyes are fixed on whoever took her book. Like, whoever is in possession of her book, like, she has a hand on Astrid. She's following wherever Astrid goes, but she is not letting that person out of her sight.
We'll say it's... Let's see if you see. We'll say it's this guy.
Okay, cool.
And you begin
Gudrun
walking.
has 0 fucks to give. She's like, yeah, sure, take my stuff.
Yeah, that tracks. I'm almost tempted to say they take the bird, but they don't take the bird. Only because
I would
looks more like a thing than an living thing.
Yeah, if they tried taking Pocky, he would fly as far away from me as he could until I
imagine
whistled for him, so.
Yeah, I imagine the Duergar would be like, "Are you serious? Are you gonna touch that?"
Yeah, they don't take the bird.
You can feed him.
And you all begin walking through this entire underground, kingdom, essentially. You pass through, like, what look to be, like, oil refineries and pools of lava with dwarven mages chanting. You pass other such things. If anyone wants to give me a perception check while you're walking through, I'm not moving you individually, because I am going to bring us to a map, but if anyone would like to roll a perception check while they're kind of pushing you through.
It's not great.
I will not. I'm too hyper focused on the person that has my book. I
Roll
don't know what Astrid would be, but I'm sure that she would roll. So we'll just do a d20 and call it probably a +2.
Yeah, I'll be nice. We'll call it a
Bard.
+3. Middle ground, +3. And Ezekiel, if you want to roll a perception as well.
Yeah, let me see.
Astrid's at 11.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
So as you are moved through, some things do, catch your eye with the natural 20 and the 24. You can see that most of the carts and, like, big items are being carried by what look to be these giant, hideous, hairless rats, essentially. Disgusting creatures with overgrown teeth. You see some of them have saddles on them. Again, you see that there are, like, oil refineries that are being worked on. And eventually you move over some bridges, through some locked doors, over some bridges, and through a archway where a trio of dwarven mages are chanting. And with the 24 and the 28, as you guys kind of walk down this way, out of the corner of your eye, you can see a hall that goes into a side cave. and you can see, guarded by some of the other dwarves, sitting at a table, kind of just prattling his fingers over some pieces of paper, is an interestingly blue dwarf. But then you're through the archway, and you're into a new area.
Well, I'll take note of that for later.
And as you move into this new area, you are brought before 3 dwarves. 1 heavily armored dwarf, and 2 soldiers behind him. As, the previous dwarves you were with pass along all your gear to these other dwarves and say, "Hey, Captain, we've taken all their gear. The king would want to see them." The captain kind of shrugs them off and sends the other dwarves that are on their way and says, "Well then, new faces." This guy has good look. New faces for the king.
I mean, we're not all new faces, Mr. Thornardner.
Well, you'll speak when spoken to. By me, by the king. He asks you a question, you answer. Otherwise, you stay quiet. Just because you're a dwarf doesn't mean you will get special treatment.
Am I allowed to respond to that, or
No.
am I supposed to be? Okay, good to know.
And he begins leading you all through a vast and broken hall. I'll move you on in a second. Where you are brought before a hoard of gold and other treasures. You're going to be moving a little bit. And atop a throne, a very mighty looking dwarf. Let's see, can you even see him? You
Nope.
barely see
He's
him.
really far in the dark there.
Yeah, I'll move you up a bit.
Hello?
Move you all up a little bit. Oh, you
Big
still
old
can't
heckin'
see him?
darkness.
Oh my god. My entire everything just broke. That's weird. Alright, here, I'll put the map on, because I want you to see him. I want you to see the king before you, as the captain steps up behind you all, pushing you forward, and him and his 2 guards kneel, and he says, kind of with his head down, "My king, we have intruders into the kingdom. We have taken their gear. Do you want it added to your hoard, or do you want it brought to other location for safekeeping?"
The large dwarf up there just lazily glances up, and his eyes narrow very, very keenly, and he says, "First to the hoard." And he just leans forward a bit and stands as tall as he can get and addresses you all. "Why are you here?"
I think Tobias would give preference to Ezekiel moving forward if he wants to say something, but bar that, Tobias will step forward.
So my mic was off. My apologies. I'll look to Tobias and be like, floor is yours, my youngin.
Tobias steps forward and will say, "We've been sent here by Valhalla, by Odin himself. We believe there's a reason that we've been sent here."
Which is your
I believe
vagueness.
that I believe that if
Bothers me.
anyone's going to give us a hint as to what our divine purpose here may be, it may be you, King.
He snorts a bit as he chuckles to himself, and takes a couple steps forward in front of his throne. What could you want here that isn't but this? Odin send you here to rob me?
You think he'd send us to rob you? Look at us.
No, Odin wouldn't bother with you.
Hurtful.
You're here on your own accord.
We're here partially of our own accord and partially for that of Odin to some degree.
This
He's-
is true.
He's entrusted us with the mighty task of ensuring, at least an attempt to avoid that which we all fear.
He's got two hands resting on a large staff, and his offhand is tapping one finger at a time the lower half of the staff, as he is looking around somewhat nervously.
Well, surely you know the legends. You feel it too, a chill in the air, even in this hot, hot mountain air.
I care not for your conspiracies.
You sure you don't
we
feel
here
it
will
in
be-
the air? You don't feel the cold of... And I'll say it in, like, Aesir, and I'll also throw in a little thaumaturgy to it, to, like, dim the lights a bit, as I say Thimblewinter.
He looks like he's really trying to focus on controlling his breathing as he stares you down. You will not use magic in my court again.
It's more for dramatic effect, harmless, of course.
You hear a voice from the back, from your captain. Do I even try to pronounce that name?
It's Thornog.
You can just probably
The old
turn it to
warrior.
like
Theod,
roar.
yeah, Theod. You hear he's still been kneeling. His two dwarven soldiers have come to his side, but he's still been kneeling. And as Fafnir, as you say that to Ezekiel, he's speaking in Dwarvish the entire time. He, still head bowed to you, says, "Excuse the interruption, King, but if you would like him to be slayed here and then, I shall do it. It would be a great honor in your court."
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Personally.
It seems to me they don't have much to offer. As clueless as could be as to the situation. I'll give you one opportunity for enslavement rather than death. Are you here to thieve?
We are
We are no
here.
thieves.
Go ahead. You're good.
We are no thieves.
He'll cut you off as his eyes flash a bright yellow for a second, and his tongue flicks out a bit forked as he just says, "Liar!"
No, truther.
And he takes a step back and sits on his throne. He grabs the edges of his temple, and they keep them in the dungeons till they speak of their true motives. I don't want to. And then he just stops talking and waves.
I think Astrid would speak up at this point, at taking a step forward and looking at Tobias, and holding out her hand, asking if now is the time.
Tobias looks briefly at the group, either looking for subtle nods or subtle shakes.
Ezekiel just shrugs the cards on the table, I guess.
Gudrun and Gwyn.
Gwen's too hyper-focused on where her book is.
I don't think Gudrun really understands what's going on. Like, I understand what's going on, but I think Gudrun is just kind of lost in the sauce.
There's too many shiny things on the ground.
Yeah. Gudrun just doesn't have enough fucks to give yet.
Alright, well, then, I guess, cards on the table. Tobias will take out, I believe it was a medallion, correct? Or a necklace of some sort?
Correct. It
All
was
right.
indeed a medallion with the dark Yggdrasil on one side.
Okay, Tobias takes it out and holds it aloft.
As you hold it,
There's a
just real quick, because this immediately happens. As you kind of hold it aloft, the other two guards like immediately gasp, and Yod looks up and sees it, and this kind of happens at the same time as Fafnir is speaking. Perhaps maybe the voices even overcut over each other, but Theod immediately stands up to his full dwarven height, which really isn't that tall. And he immediately holds his sword aloft and shouts, "Oh, they are thieves! They steal from us! They steal ancient amulets! Imprisonment!"
Hold on. We found this.
Yeah.
We found
And-
this.
and-
Brought it
has this-
here.
begun. Anyone with a, I'd say like a passive insight over 16 would notice that as it left your pocket, Fafnir immediately did a sniff and looked up and watched, and then sent a fiery, angry gaze towards his general before locking eyes with the individual holding the medallion.
All right.
You
That
said
he-
16?
Yeah.
Okay. Gudrun would have caught that. I don't know how much she would have cared, but she caught it.
He takes his offhand off his staff and raises it to silence his guard.
As the room falls
Immediately,
silent,
yeah.
Astrid will speak up and say, "Oh, great king, this is something that we found upon our journey to the entrance of your realm, and have brought it here to you. And yet we were greeted with such hostility at the gate, for they would not ever hear us of our plea to come to you."
He'll take another step up and leave his throne. I am tired of your delusions, your tricks. Place it. And he gestures to the largest pile in front of you.
Tobias would say, I'm sorry, out of character. Ring? What are you?
Well, Odin sent us here to get a ring, right?
We were sent here to acquire a ring, I'm being told?
Yes, that is correct. You were sent here to acquire Dropnir, which is one of the rings that currently adorns Fafnir's fingers.
Okay. We came here in good faith. We wish to trade.
Trade? You approach my home, enter my court, and then wish to trade?
Where else would we trade, King? And
For
who
what?
better to adjudicate the trade?
And he pulls his shoulders back, trying to look as tall as he can. What do you wish to take from my hoard?
We seek a ring. And I guess DM knowledge. Would I recognize that the ring that he's holding is specifically the ring, or is it just?
You'd have to do a pretty big perception check. He has many rings on his fingers. You just know that Fafnir is in possession of it.
Okay. I'll make that quick perception check because I think that'll influence my decision. Up to you.
You've been given a description of it, but you don't fully know what it looks like. I'm going to say you can't really tell what ring it is, because all 10 of his fingers have multiple rings on them.
Okay.
Can I try?
You can certainly
Gudrun
try.
just like staring at his hands.
Sure.
Nope,
No.
it's worse. Gudrun pays 0 attention. That's a 2, guys. I rolled a 2.
Yeah. Tobias.
Could I give it a whirl?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
I mean, someone would say something, I'm sure.
It's 1 of 3.
23. Alright, you can tell that it's one of the rings on his right hand.
I believe what has been requested of us by the All-Father himself will be the one of the rings that adorns the hand on your right. I believe the one on the middle finger.
You do know what it's called. It is called a Varnacher.
Yeah, Ivonator.
He takes the strongest step forward that you've seen from him since you've been in here. I cannot refuse to believe the words spoken here today.
Why do you have so many trust issues? Someone hurt you?
When was the last
have
time you went to a
been-
therapist?
I have been nothing but frank. Yet, here I stand, waist deep in the bog that is your treachery.
You assume the worst in people. I feel like that's a problem. How do you live with so much trust issues?
He slams his staff into the ground. I have been forced to dig the truth from your hands, wrench it from your grip.
And we
I pray
have
you
felt
fight as hard for your lives.
We have
He'll,
felt quite threatened.
Gesture again towards his guard.
Astrid will speak up and say, well, as proof, we have returned this, regardless of how it was taken from you. We were not a part of that. We have many a journey that I could spin you a wonderful tale telling you of where we come from Midgard to Asgard to here. Here, we bring you this that we have found and return to you, and all we ask for in exchange is that ring. And you are denying that?
We're gonna do a contested check.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a timeshare here.
So, it's a shame we don't know what Astrid's persuasion is.
So if she got a bonus from her alignment with Loki, I would assume that she's rolling with at least a +6, just from her charisma bonus alone. And then she would be, I'm guessing, at least an expert in it, which would put her at +8.
She also
So
has I believe she does have a 20 in charisma.
See, I think she has a 22 because did she get a bonus from her relationship with Loki?
I can't remember. That might have been rescinded.
Okay, so +5 plus with a +8 for expertise, and then she probably gets the bard additional proficiency on that, which is a +1 as well, right?
Yes.
So that would put her at a +14.
All right. So you're gonna roll persuasion. So 1d20 plus
Okay.
14. And what would be a good counter roll from Fafnir? What do you think, Mr. Dwarven King?
You know, we could just do...
Could be persuasion versus persuasion.
I think that's easiest. We just do persuasion
All right,
versus
persuasion versus persuasion.
Okie dokie. If this is wrong pie for this number, I apologize, but that's my logic way to get
No,
that number.
that's easy enough.
I'm gonna roll first, just so you can. Oh,
Fuck!
No way, dog.
Well, hold on.
Unbelievable,
Does she
dog. Do you have
have-
luck
Does
points?
she- Does she have luck points?
Luck points. Let me look. So, okay.
Please have luck points.
Pepper, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
So here's something.
Unbelievable.
Here's something sad. So I have the ability, as the GM of this game, who has the card decks, I have the ability to recall all cards, even the cards that are in players' hands who aren't in the game. I'm looking at my recall cards. She has none.
How
Can't
does she have
donate?
none?
I think she used
That-
them all. All the current luck points in play are currently on Gudrun, Ezekiel, and Tobias.
Wonderful. Okay. Oh no.
Does she have any special from Loki that would allow her to reroll a natural one?
I would have to go back and look. Not having the character sheet is really killer here.
What a one. What a one. That one I've ordered before came back. It came back.
I
I don't
like I
I don't
got-
know if she has anything like Lucky
don't
or anything like that
I
from
know she does not have Lucky.
You guys,
I hate to say it here, we might have to live with this natural one.
You guys, we might be in a pickle.
If we want to be specific, she could have had the self-help action from the fact that there's 5 people pleading for their
That
lives.
is
I'd help her.
true.
I'd help her.
So
I would be helping.
I'll allow another.
Thank you!
Can I will burn a spell slot to give her another roll.
She's getting another roll from help.
Okay. Oh my god!
Oh!
The name of the game, boys!
The
Austin,
entire
you're awesome. Thanks for
Other
pitching that.
end of the spectrum.
Wow.
I was gonna use command to say please.
Force the reroll with the please.
If you commanded please, that was an automatic failure, just so you're aware.
Okay, fine. I don't command please.
Oh,
Well, I'd be commanding her like please.
Oh, at your
Fafnir.
friend.
Your response.
He stops and he rests his head against the his fist enclosed on the staff. Brings his face up and looks at you all. I need to speak with my diviner. I will give you. He thinks. I will give you 2 days in the dungeon. Then you may reimpose your case here. Should your claims fall true with Odin, we can have another discussion. But as of right now, I cannot take your word.
Can Gwen roll a history check to see if she knows the diviner that he's referring to based off of lore from Midgard?
You could certainly try.
Or from the library?
Sure.
History, right? I didn't want to
Yes.
assume.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
29.
You don't know of any named diviners. You do know that Fafnir and the dwarves have in their retinue several mages. You have fought one previously. It is within your best guess that whoever this diviner is likely a very powerful, very political dwarven mage under Fafnir's rule. I'll say you do know that, as I said, there is a circle of very powerful mages 6 to be precise. It is probably one of them that he speaks of. One of the 6.
I'd like to also make a check somehow. I'll leave it to you to arbitrate, but I wanted to kind of get a read on this guy, like, and see if something is influencing him. I don't know if that's a Satru or perception or whatever, but like, I want to
Insight.
throw everything into insight
Mm-hmm.
into figuring out what's up with him. Okay. I can't use guidance because no spells in here. But I will burn my Oracle's insight.
Okay.
Okay. So here's my insight. That's pretty fucking solid. And then
I'll let the king answer that.
and then the Oracle bonus on 34.
34. The most clear example, especially to most in the court, being his sudden outbursts. There seems to be something within him that he seems to be looking like he is actively trying to suppress by his anxious tappings and controlled breathings and sometimes weary legs. It looks like he's... Oh, sorry.
You're good.
It
Okay.
looks
the
like he's
role
not
playing.
only... Yeah. No, I'm fighting something instead. It looks like he is not only fighting to control the direction of the conversation, but also having a fight with something in the back of his head as well.
And I guess this is up to you to decide where the fine line is. This thing that he's fighting, does it seem like it has good intentions or bad intentions? Like the way it's influencing his actions?
With a 34, you get a soul read on this man, and it is definitely rooted in self-preservation of himself, his colony, and his possessions.
Okay, himself, his colony, his possessions. So, at the very least, some of his concern is rooted in his people.
At least some.
At least some. Okay, that tells me something. Would it be a separate check to get a read on the guards behind me?
Yeah, I mean, if you turn around, I'll call it another insight check.
Okay, I'll take that. I don't have an Oracle's Insight to burn on them, but maybe it will tell me like what the townspeople think of him.
22. The 3 guards behind you, especially the main one in the biggest, bulkiest armor and the sword at his front, who's been, kneeling this entire time. They seem antsy. They seem ready for a fight. They seem ready to jail you, if not kill you here and now at a moment's notice.
Okay, but is it like eagerness to do those things, or it's like the king might say do that?
I guess the best way I can say this is they were ready to do it with or without the king's say.
Okay. All right.
But they were ready to do it with or without the king's say, but these 3 at most seem extremely loyal to the king.
Sure.
So they're also ready to do it the second the king says, hey, lop their heads off. Or hey, throw them in the jail.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. I think I've made a million checks. I think it's only fair to pass priority to other players if they want to do something. I've gathered a lot of information that I feel like it is helpful.
Well, if there is anything else, the conversation has seemingly led to hey, I'm gonna let you live, and I'm gonna think about your conversation and your offer, but I'm gonna keep you here for 2 days first.
Astrid will speak up again and say, I understand the idea of putting us in the jail cells for a couple days to think over this decision, but you are putting everything at risk by putting us in those jail cells without this, and she'll point to the medallion, within your possession. How about an exchange here? You give us the ring, we give you the medallion, and then you put us in jail. The ring is with us, we are in your captivity. You are not out anything.
There seems to be a grave misunderstanding.
Yeah, you still have your reaction, Fafnir, but I think I'm going to call for another persuasion to be persuasion.
Okay.
Before he says his full response.
Oh, well, there's that.
There seems to be a grave misunderstanding. Your other possessions have been added to the pile. That was staying. Should you leave with the ring, would be decided in 2 days.
Well, can I have the soup pot back? That wasn't really threatening you at all. Like, I just want to make soup, man.
Or have their value.
Fafnir, roll me a just roll me a d20 plus 5.
Do I have something plus 5? No. Okay.
Okay, and I got it wrong. Theo doesn't have a sword, he has a very large battle axe. As Ezekiel says that, Theo is still head down, you know, he hasn't said anything since you told him to quiet. But when Ezekiel says, can I at least have my soup pot back, you see him, like, white knuckle the grip of his battle axe. Like,
just say no.
Like, he understands that, obviously, you're the king, you're the one talking, but he seems impatient, and he wants to move them out of your court. Like, he's tired for you of these people.
It's a little rude. I'm just asking a question.
Food will be provided. Please move.
Well, would you like some food? And I can make
and
some food.
he turns around and sits.
Your guard get up, and the first one that gets grabbed by their arms is Ezekiel.
Okay, easy now, easy now.
And then the others begin to get rounded up.
Could at least wait till we're out of the courtroom to get all handsy.
And
I think.
Mhm.
Sorry, one more thing. I guess it's more cinematic than anything. Tobias would like to lock eyes with Fafnir. And take one step closer and kind of just say very clearly, we can save you and your people, before allowing himself to be taken away.
And as you say that and begin to get taken away, I'm going to call for a little 10-minute break.
All right.
So we will be back in 10, so I can go get water, people can use the bathroom, and we will see what happens next. Alright, we are back. The party have been escorted from the throne room into the jails of Nidavellir, where they sit. They have been thrown into random cells. Gudrun and Astrid in one cell by themselves. Ezekiel and Tobias in another cell. Ezekiel, even with his good sight. Tobias, more so you're hearing like these chittering sounds. Ezekiel, you turn around and see 4 dark elves just mean-mugging the both of you in this cell.
Oh, good.
There are 4 guards in the center of the room. For all purposes, Pocky is in a small little cage as they're kind of like playing with the bars.
He's I want to say he's just staring at one of them with his head like cocking all the way around and then all the way the other direction.
And they're drinking, they're eating. You can hear them laughing and chuckling to themselves. And then in the upper cell, in the dark corner, Gwyn, there is a dark elf who seems to be more like hunchbacked, and he has like this tattered robe over him. He doesn't really pay you any attention. He seems more like he's huddled in the corner. He does occasionally glance at you with these bug-like eyes, but he doesn't really pay you much attention. What's the first action from everyone?
I guess I would look at the inhabitants of our cell. I can see something through the darkness.
Yes,
Um,
you turn around
What are
and
these?
you see walking out of the darkness a dark elf walks directly up to you and like begins sizing you up. You can see that their wings seem to be bound in iron, and it's a bit taller than you are. They seem very lithe but muscular at the same time, and it just looks at you, and it has like this like bug like maw, was District 9. Think that. And it's just chittering, and it's just like staring you down.
These are like smaller beings, right? Like they're like fairies.
Oh no, these are the dark
Mm-mm.
elves. These are full-sized humans.
Okay, so they are full. Okay.
These are the guys you saw previously flying throughout and down into the holes of the realm when you first landed.
Yeah, I just didn't have a good reference one because I know they were flying, but in my head I was like, oh wait, they're like pixies or
No,
fairies or
full
something.
humanoids.
So they're like Eric Cockra level flight.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I'm going to whisper in common back at it. Can I help you?
This figure, and some more figures begin stepping up in your direction. The main one just kind of chitters at you and spits like this globule on the floor at your feet, and then walks back to the corner of the room with his group, seemingly.
Do they speak Elvish, correct?
They do.
Right. Let me make sure I'm pretty sure I can speak Elvish, but let me double check. I can speak a shit ton of languages, so.
Same.
Oh, I cannot speak Elvish. I think I just chose not to speak that one.
Well, that is typical for a dwarf.
I could speak a lot of very exotic languages, but not not Elvish.
Well, you can see them, but you can't speak to them.
You know Elvish, Tobias?
I don't, but
Mm.
a certain antsy bookworm on the other side of the prison may.
And we go to that cell next.
Yeah, so after looking around in like the panic because now she's lost track of her book, she turns and looks at the dark elf in the corner. You said he looks hunched over.
He has a hunch. You can see that he has like a tattered robe over him, and just like the other ones, you can see that his set of 4 wings are restrained in iron, like iron clasps.
Okay, Gwen will take a step this way and kind of squat down just a little bit, and in Elvish, will say, "Are you hurt?"
Give me persuasion.
Great. God knows those rolls have been fantastic today. Okay, sure, I'll take that with a -1, 14.
You, thankfully, you can hear it, so you can hear what he's saying through the chittering. He doesn't really. He maybe gives you a glance over his shoulder, but then looks back to, like the floor, and he goes, "Oh."
All I get is a no.
All you get is a no.
Okay. Let me check something. Hold on. First of all, are we bound as Midgardians?
You guys are not in. You were bound coming to the jail, but they unlocked you and threw you in your cells.
Got it. Okay.
If you had wings, that'd be a different story.
Yep. His wings are bound with iron.
Yes, these large like iron clasps that hold the wings in place, almost like folding them inwards.
Is iron in the stone family, Pi?
I could maybe give it to you if it wasn't refined into a like handcuff.
So you would consider raw iron to be in the same vein as stone, but not forged iron?
I could, despite what Google says, I could give you raw iron being adjacent family. Refined iron, no.
Okay. Threat. Threat. Okay. Let me check plan B. Hold on.
Plan B, as you're thinking about Plan B, the guards in the middle kind of begin shouting. You can hear the sound of dice rolling, and dwarven shouting. One of them shouts,
Or are they playing D&D?
"They are actually, yes, no,
Yes.
They one of them rolls dice. Some numbers get landed on, and one of them shouts, "Ah, that's the pot for me, boys. You suck at this game." And he rakes in some coins and other random goodies. As the activity in here goes on, one of the dwarves sees the elf spit at your feet, Tobias, and says, he laughs, "Ha ha! Ah, they've been looking for some fresh meat. Yeah, enjoy your time in there. See if the king even gets you in 2 days."
My mic was off. I thought you were ignoring me.
Yeah, we know we were.
Okay, all right, good to know. Do I know what game they're playing over there?
They seem to, as a dwarf, they seem to just be playing like a basic game of dice. Like whoever gets
Right.
the highest score wins.
Right. Can I tell whether one of them, that guy who just won, was cheating or not?
Ooh, do you want to give me an insight?
Yeah, I can do that. Damn.
Aw.
I'm gonna roll a random flat d20. You can't tell.
Do the other Durgar look pissed that he might have won that amount of money?
I'll let you do another insight if you'd like.
All right. 10.
10. It's hard to tell.
All right.
You can't tell if
They're overjoyed.
if they are pissed, or you can't tell. Like it's hard to tell because this fully could just be like they might just be playing with your money.
Fair point. Fair point.
You know, this could be anyone's money that they're playing with, so whether they win or lose. You do see occasionally one of them sticks a coin into Pocky's cage to see if he does anything with it.
Oh, he'll eat it. He will consume that coin.
And as he consumes the coin, all 4 of the guards, like, uproariously laugh. Oh! We need to get one of our own!
And it'll look at the one that says, like, coin? Pocky hungry?
Do you want to roll me an intimidation?
Yeah, I can do that with Pocky.
We roll it from Pocky, but use your bonus.
Oh, okay.
So use Pocky's main stat for it, but add your bonus as Ezekiel.
Oh, add my proficiency or whatever? I can do that.
Yeah, like add your intimidation bonus
Okay, let me see.
to Pocky's roll. So you're gonna roll
Okay,
this
so
whatever
this'll
stat
be-
is for
this'll-
Pocky, but you're gonna add your stuff.
This will be an additional one.
Wow.
Is
Fucking
that
hockey,
3
man.
nat 20s?
Jesus. Yes.
Holy.
They really want to play tonight. It's crazy.
The guards immediately are like taken aback, and you see one of them grabs like a cloth and throws it over Pocky's cage, and they all look at each other, and you can hear, like, they're not whispering. You can hear like all of them agree on, maybe we don't want one.
Oh, better be careful there. What kind of coin did you feed him?
Oh, none of your business.
Oh, it's not my business anymore. I need to know what kind of coin you fed him so I know how far back I should get away from the bars.
One of them gets up and says, "Oh, what are you talking about, you nuisance?"
I'm not.
Before he steps up, could I, while facing away, say, Loki would get a kick out of this, and count that as a guidance?
Sure.
I'm just saying. I probably shouldn't. It's probably nothing to worry about anyway. Besides, I'm in here and he's out there.
And then, so you can roll me another intimidation as Ezekiel with guidance.
With guidance, okay. This is not gonna go quite as well, I think. Yeah.
Golly.
My
Guidance.
dice are awful. My dice are awful. Is it 1d4?
Yeah.
Or I guess not.
And I'll roll a flat d20 for him.
Or 12, I guess.
They got a 2.
All right.
So, a few things happen. A few things happen in quick succession. Firstly, because the Dark Elves can see in the dark, and they see you casting magic, Tobias. While you don't understand what they're saying, like, 2 of them immediately mob you, and the other, like, look in the back, like, they don't, like, it's not, like, aggressive, like, get in your face, like, grab your collar. Like, they're not reaching back their arms to, like, attack you, but they're up in your face, and, like, spit is getting all over your face as their chitinous mouths, like, move and stuff. And as that happens, the Duergar soldier that you just spoke to, Ezekiel, looks back, and in a panic, as if there was a bomb in the room, shouts, "Get that damned bird out of here!" And one of them immediately grabs the cage and begins, like, sprinting top speed out of the room until they're gone.
Well, we'll figure that out later. I don't know. You gotta be careful where you put him.
And as that happens, we're gonna go back a bit to Plan B, Gwen.
Okay, so Plan B, Gwen will, staying squatted down near the dark elf, she will say, very softly and in Elvish, "Would you like me to try to get the chains off of your wings?"
He looks back at you And you can see his full face now. You can see only one of his bug-like eyes is actually intact. You see, like, there's a full scar over the other one. And you can actually see, again, like, one of his side mandibles seems to have been cut off. Like, it is missing.
Oh, poor guy.
So imagine him talking with a lisp. Imagine a bug voice with a lisp.
Got it.
Even if I can't do that. And he responds with, it's no use without the key. Only they have the key. And he puts up a very, like, feeble arm with a pointed claw at the end of his hand and points outside of the gate. And as he does, we're gonna call it there. Because I'm not leaving Gudrun out, I just want Gudrun and Astrid both to be here for that conversation as they're both locked in a cell together.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I hope you do not mind, Gudrun.
Hi.
Well, I got one of them out with Pocky, so we got three.
As,
We got three to deal with.
as we will
Hopefully it was one with the keys.
see what happens and hopefully have an Astrid with us here next time in 2 weeks on session 39. For now, though, everyone say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye, YouTube!
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. See you
Bye,
around.
YouTube. See what happens next time on